There's a chat going around the neighborhood. Influence in movies, in your movie watching, or anybody that influenced you. And I have to turn around and give my honest answer as no. Nobody's influenced me. But on the other side of the coin, I have been influenced in one way or another from the last few years just by being on YouTube from the grumpy old gentleman. Now that part is true. I can admit that. But up until then, like, you know, the last little while, I guess, I have never been influenced by anything. I'm pretty well my own, what do you want to call it? I've been my own influence. I've been that way for a long, long time. I've been interested in movies probably since my sister took me to go see House on Haunted Hill. That was down in St. John, New Brunswick. And then I went and seen later, much later, I went to the show and seen The Magnificent Seven on a big screen. Fascinating. But influence, yeah, I influenced myself by, and I'll tell you how I did that. Back when I was young, 12, 13, 14 years old, I'd buy the monster magazines, Warren monster magazines, and they'd have ads in the back, and they show you short little film clips on these little Super 8s, and you had to get a projector. Well, I did get a projector. I did buy some of those little Super 8 movies. I probably still got a couple around, but the projector's long gone. And the reason is, as years went by, you could never find a bulb for it. So that's part of that. And that's me, watching movies, being fascinated by movies. Now we move along a little bit farther. And influence, yeah, I was influenced just by myself, by sitting in my front room watching, I think it was CBC TV. It's a channel here in Canada. It's a CBC, Canadian channel. But it was a long time ago. They'd show movies on TV. I think it was CBC, but it was probably around 11:30 at night, probably on a Friday or Saturday night. And they'd show Frankenstein, they'd show, The Creature, they'd show, all kinds of old sci-fi movies. And I probably more than likely, a lot of them, not all of them of course, but a lot of them were probably in the public domain, even back then. So I'd stay up, and my mother, everybody would go to bed, my brothers would go to bed, and sisters, everybody. I'd be sitting downstairs in front of the black and white TV, watching these old movies on black and white TV, sitting there in the dark, simply fascinated. So that's another way of looking at movies. And even then, you couldn't watch movies on TV, any kind of movie for that matter, without having commercials. Yeah, commercials. And back then, you never really thought anything of it. You never entered your mind that you're watching a movie on TV with commercials, because there was no thought to it. That, like I said, you never thought about it. It's just, that's the way it was. So I'd stay up. That lasted a while. I don't know how long, but it lasted a while. Getting to see old black and white movies. Of course, back then I had a black and white TV, or my parents did, I should say. So yeah. So then to move on a little bit farther in life to influence myself, I'm talking about me. I had a job when I was younger, selling newspapers down at the corner of Queen and Yonge here in Toronto. Actually, around the corner from Queen and Yonge, there'd be a window, a big window, but it was recessed, so it had a little, I don't know what you call it, not a shelf, but then you stood on it, right? So I had the newspapers there. The Globe and Mail, I think the Toronto Star, and Telegram back then. 3 newspapers at the time. And I'd sell newspapers, and I'd be there from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock, because by 6 o'clock, everything shut down. Yeah, it shut down, everything shut down. It's even through the week it shut down. back in those days, probably 1963 or something like that. So I'd get my money, plus I had tips. You know, people give you a quarter for a dime paper and tell you to keep the change. It was like, yeah, that's okay. So anyway, I worked down there for, a few years, at least a few years. I got my brothers, I think I got them all a job down there over the course of time. Some of my friends, I got jobs down there selling newspapers. But on a Saturday, you run up Yonge Street and you go to the downtown show. Every Saturday. That lasted for years in the 60s. Going to the show every Saturday. Yeah, my own influence. The thing about going to the show on Saturdays was that at my age, I guess you want to call it young, I had to be home by 12 o'clock. Yeah. So some nights I'd get it. There was a double bill. It was always a double bill, no single. It was what they call an A movie and a B movie. And they always showed the B movie first, right? Influence. They showed the B movie first. So you had to stick around to watch the A movie. So the shows probably started around 7:30ish or something like that. Influence again. So I went there every Saturday for years. I've seen The Great Escape. I've seen Saving Private Ryan. I've seen all the Ape movies. I've seen a lot of movies back in the 60s. So talking about the 60s. A lot of movies. Influence. Yes. And then I did all that. And then you get to the point where the day comes where, yeah, this thing called VHS or beta, or thinking to yourself, you can actually watch movies at home. And I found that fascinating. It was like, yeah, really, like, wow. So even if you had to rewind them and do all that stuff, it was a time when, yeah, I'm like loving movies as much as I did. I'm the only one in my family, between my brothers and sisters, that have I call it a collection, yeah, I do, collect movies. I have thousands of movies. I don't know how many thousands, but I got over 1,000. Right now, I know I got over 1,000. Not that it freaking matters. I never really thought about it. I have thousands of comic books. I have thousands of 45s, little records. I have hundreds of paperbacks, pocketbooks. I got all kinds of friggin' people. I got all kinds of everything. People in my friggin' apartment building know this. My apartment is the guy that collects everything. Yeah. But changing the subject. But the thing is, influence? No. I've never been influenced. I kind of influence myself, I guess, until like I said, the only way I have been, if I've been influenced, is by watching YouTube videos, people talking about movies and bringing up movies that you totally forgot about, or bringing up movies that you didn't know anything about, but you wanted to watch them, or you write it down in your book. Boy, I'm telling you, man, you write stuff down in your book, and it's like time goes by. There's a lot of friggin' movies written down in your book. You're never gonna get all those movies, but it's fun writing them down, isn't it? Huh? Yeah, it's fun. And I don't have a movie room. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a movie room. So my influence is, like I said, myself. Between everything I have, I'm kind of like the only. Well, other than my buddy Rick, right? We watch movies on a Saturday. Yeah, we've been doing that for a while now. But he kind of talks to me about movies. But he does, in around the way we talk about movies. He brought me movies up like I've never seen before, so that's interesting. But to influence me, no, I don't think so there either. So, yeah, I think I'm the one that influenced myself. So we get to the part where, yeah, VHS movies, right? On a Saturday, you go rent them, and you bring them home. You have popcorn, and you have a beer or whatever, yeah. So that's fine. But that's how I've been influenced. I've been influenced by myself. And now it's just over a course of a very, very long time. I've always been interested in watching movies. It's just something that's been inside me since I was 12 years old. I love watching movies, and I love collecting movies. So yeah. But like I said, I don't have them all sitting on shelves. I have them, but I put them in little boxes, or I put them in baskets, and I put them together by the year. I go by the year. My oldest movie, I think, is what is it, Fruto or Freedom? I can't even say the fucking name. Anyway, it goes back to 1922 or something like that. But you know, as far as I know, people tell me I got a lot of movies, but there's other people out there that have a lot more movies than I do. So it's fascinating when you find out that somebody could have 1,000 movies or 3,000 or 4,000 movies, and sometimes when you really think about it, we don't all have the same movies. No, we don't. Sometimes you say you got this movie, and 5 people out of 6 say no, I don't have that, and it's like you wonder. You think, no, really, you don't? It's like, but yeah, we don't always have the same movies. So to be influenced by anyone, like I said, no, I've never been. I haven't been influenced by anybody in collecting comic books, collecting records. There's nobody that has done any of that to me. I'm pretty well on my own. So that's the community chat that I did for that. So yeah, maybe, like everybody says, maybe my mother might have mentioned a couple of movies, but she didn't really influence me. My dad had nothing to do with anything that I did. Nothing. You just, if it's your own money, spend it, but don't bug me. That's Dad, right? Like, don't bother me, Do I get an allowance? No, fuck that. No, I didn't get nothing. Shit. I had to get my own money since I was 12 years old.
My master.
Huh?
I am your father. If you only knew the power of the dark side. You have learned much, young one.
Yeah, so that's the influence. No. I can honestly say, no. I've been pretty much on my own in anything that I've done. There's nobody else like me. Don't take that the wrong way. All right, talk to you later.